You're not going to believe this, but I actually forgot the intro again. I don't know where it's going, dude. I keep transferring over, but you know what? I hope it's still playing, but if not, I'm just going to say, ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Full Circus. My name is Tristan Sartoris. How are we feeling? How are we doing? Genuinely, this is a scope out. Let's see. Let's hear the room. You know, there's a lot of mixed emotions, as there always is. There is a new president, or a president-elect. Donald Trump has been elected. The people voted, and it's a trying time for everybody, you know. And it's just, look, I'm going to do this really quickly because I constantly harp on how I don't mean to say politics are meaningless. I know they're important, but just not to the degree in which people care about them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it impacts stuff slightly and you know, enough, but not to the point that we're like hating each other. You know what I mean? Like, just people are the problem, man. As soon as your team loses, you go, I hate you, I wish all this and this and this and that. And both sides, okay? I've been alive to witness both of these elections. I've only really seen 3 of them in my lifetime, and that's partly due to me being such a spring chicken, but which is also not caring enough to pay attention when I was younger. And I don't know if it was as hectic as it was back then as it is now with so much availability to social media and connection, but I never remember my parents, I saw their candidate win or lose and going, my life's over, my life's this, my life's that. And this is what I'll say, okay? And this is to the people who won as well. If your guy gets in, your life's not going to go bang to the top and crazy. Finally, everything's going to be perfect. No, if your life sucked before your guy gets in, I said the same thing when Biden went in. If your guy gets in and your life's not okay, it's not going to be perfect. And if your life's already good or sucks as well and your guy doesn't get in, it's going to be mostly the same. You know, what I'm trying to say, okay, and I don't mean to take away because I know there's a lot of extreme emotions. What I'm trying to say is that I don't care as much about politics, but I do care about people, okay? And what I want to say is that it's going to be okay. You know, it's going to be okay. And we talk about it with so much extreme with this election's the most important election of our lifetime is this. But then 4 years later, this is the most important. They do the same thing with the NFL draft. Every time there's like a stout defensive end or wide receiver or a QB, generational talent. We will never witness a talent like this again in our lifetime. Lo and behold, not even 4 years. 12 months later, we can't believe what we're seeing. It's just and what I'm trying to say is that as extreme as it feels, okay, for both you, whether you win or lost, not that you win or lose. You know, we're all on Team America. We're all just hoping and waiting to see what happens. We're all rooting for America to win, right? But there was a lot of intense feelings. I'm just saying it's going to be okay. Okay, it's going to be okay. Much like a father who stumbles upon his kid who just fell off his skateboard and he scrapes his knee and he says, it's going to be okay. And the kid goes, but Dad, you don't understand the pain and what's happening. You have it. You know, you have no idea. Will it ever go away? I have no idea the catastrophe of this pain. He just says, it's going to be okay. And isn't it always okay every time you've been in such a dire circumstance? Look at you now. It's always okay. It's always going to be okay, you know? And even if it's not, all right, isn't it better to believe that it's going to be instead of wasting the rest of your life worrying about the same thing that may or may not happen in the future? He who worries about the future suffers twice or something like that. What is it? For who can add a single moment to his life by worrying about the future? Anxiety, stress. I'm just trying to say, guys, I'm not saying shut up, right? I'm just saying it's going to be okay. Things are going to be great. I don't mean to downplay anybody. I'm just trying to say, believe in yourself, believe in life, believe in the Lord, baby. And things are going to be cool, man. Things are going to be okay. And that's okay, right? Let's all just have some fun. I will say, traffic, pretty extreme today, man. I don't know what that is. I don't know if everybody truly is trying to leave the country or not, but I was just trying to go to the grocery store and I got stuck in traffic. It's right next to the house. 23 minutes, okay? I could have walked there faster. So I've never actually seen or heard, I'm sure it's happened, but I haven't seen anyone really commit to leaving the country when their guy comes in. And why would you really? You know, it's 4 years. You're like, people get in, people get out. Like, you can't stick it out. I can stick it out 4 years. But I don't know if people really are bailing or not. And it was pretty packed. And I'm not completely against it, you know? Like I'm saying, yeah, stick it out. But if you want to, hey, dude, take a 4-year vacation, all right? And then maybe finally I can go get some hot Cheetos without it taking forever, man. Forever. Everybody, I'm not saying get out of the way, but feel free to stay at home. Isn't that, you know, it's okay. It's okay to stay at home. You know, relax. Like, yeah, there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of tension. Stay at home. Think about it. Work on your feelings. Leave the road to those who want to go get some groceries and snacks. We will see. We will see. I did see the only thing, dude, like, so I don't get passionate about politics at all. The only thing I did see was the squirrel. Was it Peanut the squirrel? I'm super passionate about it. I can't remember it. There was the Peanut the squirrel, and it was Fred the raccoon, though. And New York, I guess they stumbled in, and somebody reported it and said they've got it illegal. He doesn't have his papers or a license to have this animal. And they had like a big following on social media too. And then they just came in. And that's messed up, man. That's sad, okay? And I don't care which side you're on. I think we can rally about, like, that's your animal, okay? Those are your home dogs, but not dogs. Your home squirrels or rodents or whatever you want to call them. And that's sad, dude. That one really got me in my feelings. I went, oh, I hate the world. You know, I almost left the country after that one. That one bothered me. I hate something about small animals, man. What is it about small animals that we go, all right, that's enough? Like, I was going to rise from my seat. I wasn't going to storm anything, okay? I'm just saying I was going to throw a fit, you know, maybe send out a tweet, because that seems to solve the world's problems. So what's going on in my life besides that, man? I'm just... I'm just trying to maintain, you know, I'm trying to maintain life and relationships, which can be difficult for some people depending on who you're linked up with in this trying time. But I'm just trying to stay the course, man. I feel like I'm so, you know, in my routines, and I'm such a routine guy, like building block. Like I need to be following the same steps every day. You know, some people, if they want to walk to school, and they take different paths, and maybe they're leaving breadcrumbs, and they can, you know, venture. You know, people who like to drive different routes to go home, because like, I'm just trying to see something new. I'm not like that guy, okay? I don't need to see anything new. I don't need to experience anything new. I need to be locked in step with the same thing every single day. It's quite robotic, but you know what? At least for the productive elements of my life, I'm trying to achieve that. And I'm trying to stay in it. However, as hectic as life can be, you miss something and you go, oh, I forgot to stretch today. And it's not that big of a deal, but I go, well, but then this and then this and this, and I fall apart, dude. And I'm just trying to stick with it right now. So right now I'm feeling like I'm in a good routine. I'm trying to, you know, brain, just wake up and do the same thing. But there's something about life, I guess, that maybe wants some sort of spontaneity. You know what I would like, you know, as much as this chair keeps rolling down, and that's been a continuous part of my life, I would like that to stop. That could be a new thing that I would quite, Lord bless you, you know, feel free to intervene, God, intervene. Yeah, man, I've just been doing chores, running around. There's nothing too exciting on this side of the fence. It's crazy. This show used to be called Over the Fence, and I would be able to say what's happened on this side of the fence so often, and that would have been a good tagline. But that's over now, okay? And we could say what's happened on this side of the tent. It doesn't work the same. I'm trying not to get sick, dude. You know when you feel sickness coming on and you're not sick, like I feel fine, everything's great before, you know, it's not even the calm before the storm. It's the deep sleep REM cycle before the storm. I feel great. I feel fine, but I sense it in the air, and I don't want to accidentally speak that into existence. I'm going to say I'm the healthiest boy of all time, and nothing can faze me. Okay? Now, if I get sick, I'm going to be pissed because I've been so brave. I've been so confident about it. But yeah, I was just trying to think. There's nothing. So I don't know. I'm working on the rest of this whole place, trying to put it together. Oh, I will say, man, I'm so forever grateful to, anybody who really spends their time on me. And there's, what is it? The different love languages, and one of them's acts of service. And it's not that my family's been helping me with all this stuff. Okay. It's time, man. Time. Okay. I guess maybe that falls under quality time. I don't know. But I'm so hyper aware of how valuable time is for people, and I think that comes as somebody. I mentioned this very briefly when I was saying people who watch the podcast. Thank you. But I think growing up and being so desperate and needy for attention, like, hey, look at me, and then realizing that they can't constantly look at you. It was like, oh, people have other things to do. The world doesn't revolve around me. So it was a pretty crushing revelation to be 22 and be like, what the heck? But how many times have I done that joke? I'm just very aware, and cognitive of the fact that people have life and responsibilities. Like I said, I have a building block, blah, 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 blah. A lot of people are like that, and they have a routine. They have things, obligations, and to use any of your time on me to help out or contribute or watch, experience, but it is a very special thing that I'm super grateful for always, and it does not go unnoticed. It's not taken for granted. I wish I could say granted, but my brain just wants to say granted. But it's rock solid facts, man. But anyways, my family and specifically my brother has been helping me the past couple of days with this thing, and he's got so much stuff to do. Okay, Carlton is just he's got things to do like anybody else, and when people show up like that, it's a very special thing. So that's what's happened in my life right now. I'm just very grateful. I love my family, and if you have anybody else, this chair, dude, I'm not grateful for you. But if you have anything like that in your life, dude, if you have people, sometimes it's easy. Maybe your routine is forgetting to notice that people are out there helping you. Okay, maybe your mom makes your favorite meal once a month or a week or whenever, and you go, "What the heck? I didn't." It just happens. Routine. I don't even think of it. Pay attention. Think, observe, be grateful, appreciate, right? This is a very beautiful sentiment podcast. I've just inspired people to feel calm and relaxed and love their lives, and now I'm saying love your family. Oh my God. Do we even do jokes anymore? I don't think so, all right? Just give me a white gown or, I don't know, whatever you have to do to become the Pope. Is the Pope chill like that? I don't follow the Pope a lot. I'm not Catholic, but I don't know if is he vibing now? Is he helping people a lot, or he's like, hey, it's fine, And this is, I don't know sign language, but this is what I would do if people were like, hey, what should I do? I'd go, it's fine, man. Or if I would love to be just a yoga instructor or one of those guys who just unlocks the chakras and the chi and the energies, and you're like, dude, I'm so behind on my car payments. They're talking about this and that. The children are late from school, and here I am shelling out another $200 to ask you for advice. I go, hey, it's fine, man. They go, honestly, I'm so pissed about this, that you're doing this right now, that I'm forgetting how hard life is. And that's a unique ability I have, I think, to bother people to such a degree that they forget about the original feelings they had. And you're welcome for that, man. You're welcome. What time? Dude, it's daylight savings. That one hit, man. We have the same conversation, like I said, with the election, with the NFL draft, with these people. It's one big cycle, okay? We're playing the same freaking song on loop. It's granted a pretty long one, but it keeps coming back and around and around. And we talk about daylight savings time. We go, let's keep it, let's not. Let's keep it, let's not. I propose a toast to the idea, huzzah, that instead of going back an hour, we go back 30 minutes. Seems pretty reasonable, no? All right, you get a little bit of the time. Your daylight comes a little bit later, a little bit earlier. This happens. Team meet middle. Isn't that what life's all about? So I'm not saying I can solve the world's problems, but I can solve many of them. And I'm not on the ballot, but even if I was voted in, you guys, you'd be in trouble because I'm an idea guy. I don't know how to fix daylight savings time, okay? I have no solutions to anything. What I'm really good at is saying a lot of words. So, and I have a lot of fun doing it, but I don't know if it's necessarily persuasive or motivational or inspirational or the right words to say. But I like to believe that if I say enough things, I can get the right thing to stick on the wall. And you go, well, look at that. he pronounced that right. That was, a small bar to jump, but he did it, and I was so proud, and that kind of made sense. Or like I said, I bother you so much to such a degree, or just so annoying or so loud, and they go, oh, he's speaking a little bit quieter now. Oh, he's finally speaking a little bit slower. And like, it's such, oh, this sucks, that as soon as we come back up to baseline, they go, you know what, things aren't that bad. Maybe this guy's got a point about this and that and this and that. I can't remember what I was talking about. Yes, daylight savings time. 30 minutes for one, I think, is a very valuable, and moderate, and I think important and considerate meet in the middle. Why not? Because it gets dark at like 5 o'clock right now. Maybe 5:30. Hey, fine, I could take that. And it doesn't need to be 6 for some people. They don't want to be 6 because it's gonna not get light out until 10 a.m. But 9:30, not that bad. Whatever the case may be, 30 minutes. All right, 30 minutes is what I'm saying. And have an hour so we can have a heart towards each other. But yeah, the problem with that, man, is just you get so tired so early, dude. It's like, and not necessarily like tired, like but it's so hard to gear up to do something. Maybe you have ambitions, who am I to say that you don't, right? Maybe you have passions, things you're really excited about, things you really want to do, things you never said to somebody something. And by the time you get off work, 5 o'clock, the sun's down. You're like, the sun's not out, okay? The sun's not even working overtime. Why should I be? You know what I mean? So it's hard to ramp yourself up and gear up and really get out there. I'm doing it, but that's just because, like I said, I'm better than everyone. If you're new here, I do that a lot. It's a joke. I don't think I'm better than anybody. I think I'm just as good as everyone. And I don't know if that's considered arrogant, but I don't think anyone's better than me. And I don't know if that's okay to say. I'm just fighting to stay afloat. I just want to be tolerated. I don't need you to love me. I just need you to say fine, But anyways, no, I've been trying to overcome this darkness feeling. And what I've been doing, man, is chugging caffeine so hard. The intake is out of this world. And I'm not thrilled about that because I was just quitting caffeine. And you try to quit cold turkey. I've talked about this before. I go back and forth. And my thing is energy drinks, right? And it's partly due to, I don't necessarily feel the caffeine, but it's like a snack. It's a meal. So, yeah, dopamine, serotonin, hit, boom. And you hit one and you go, well, surely I paid $1.25 for this. There's got to be some benefit. What if I put in $2.50, $3.75? I'm putting in money. Surely my body should start recognizing the traits and like the dedication. I'm committing to the day, So my body should start feeling a little bit more jazzed. I don't know if that was the case, but I certainly notice it when I stopped taking it, So I just decided like a week ago, no more energy drinks. We're done. I can't do that. So taking 3 a day, no more. Woke up tired, man. I was like, if only I could have an energy drink. So I came up with a new plan. Instead of having 3 or 4 a day, I was going to have 3 today, and then 2 tomorrow, and then 1, and then none. Okay. So what I was doing is I did that 3, and then I took that 2, and then I took that 1. I thought, here we go. No more caffeine tomorrow. But I went, I have a big thing to do tomorrow. You know what? Maybe I'll do it tonight, and then tomorrow when I have no caffeine, I could just get it over with. Okay? But if I'm going to do it tonight, I need more caffeine. So I stayed at 2. Bang, bang. Had another 2. Tomorrow rolls around, and that project was done. But I was like, well, I had 2 yesterday, so technically I shouldn't cut as hard as that. So I'm going to have another 1 today. 1. And then another thing came up, and then all of a sudden I was still on 1, and I thought, well, if we're going to really contribute and give it our all, we need to be in the right mindset. Like I had some important stuff going on and I wanted to be completely locked in. So I was like, all right, fine. 2 today. And then I had 2 and then I was like, well, I should just buy the extra 1 for tomorrow. But then there was a deal. So they had 2 today. So long story short, I went 3, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And here we are today. I've had 4 energy drinks. I'm not thrilled about it. However, my plan is not working. And even though the sun's down, guess who's having a good time? All right? It's not guaranteed success, but all guaranteed fun. And that's not to say that I figured out life, but it is to say I'm doing it, you don't have to have all the answers to life, but it's important to do life. Guys, do life. That's a long roundabout way of saying, let's go back 30 minutes. It's not a big deal. So anyways, I will tell you the biggest hassle of my week thus far. We like to chime in. We'd like to say, hey, what's your win? What's your loss? Okay, my biggest win, I can't even share with you because it's still in the middle of things happening. My biggest win is still my family. My biggest loss of the week was I had a car. I have a car, but it felt like I lost it. I was at a Dairy Queen, and I've been meaning to replace the starter in this thing for years now. And you start it up, and the car kind of meows, and it's just as embarrassing as it sounds. And every time I'm in a parking lot, people go, what the, oh my gosh. I've snapped so many necks. Hold up. I've snapped the attention of so many people, and it's always shameful. It's always awkward. And it sucks when you actually go somewhere important, which I don't do a lot. But if you ever do, and people have class and they have decorum and they look elegant and fancy, and go, okay, you guys have a great night. Yeah, and I'm dressed up nice too. We have this nice little thing. Okay. No, I'm not happy with it either. So anyways, I was at a Dairy Queen, and I go in there. I come back out. Well, meow. Maybe the cat's out of the bag. There's nothing. There's no cat meow, but there's no star at all. So I sit here, and after I get done screaming at the world, I have to have my brother come and tow the vehicle, and we don't have the trailer. So what we do is use the little ratchet straps, and I hate this. Okay, we've done this a few times, and when someone's pulling you just by a ratchet strap, and you got to be like hovering on the brakes, because anytime they slow down, there's no buffer. Okay, if he slows down, right? So when he brakes, I brake, and I got to be locked in. So when I've done it before, we're going like 15, and even that is very dicey, and you feel nervous. For whatever reason, my brother was just feeling it, man. And we were also going uphill, and the road was open, and I'm like, Nick, slow down! So we hit about 40, maybe 45. He said it didn't get that high on his, but on mine it was, and it felt like it was more than that. So I'm sniffing, okay, his tailgate. I can't see anything on the side. I don't know when the turns are coming up. We have our flashes on, so I can't even really tell when the turn signal comes on. Cars are flying by. I don't know. I'm just locked in. I'm staring right there at his truck, okay? And because of the flashes, I also can't notice the taillights as much or the brake lights. So I'm focused. I'm just staring. Brake bang. Brake bang, brake bang. And we're going so fast, and I'm trying to call him, Nick, you gotta stop going so fast, man, dude. It was probably one of the scariest times of my life for a brief second, okay? And I don't like to believe anything negative or negative energy or like that just because I feel like I'm manifesting in some way. That's my own thing I need to get over. But for a brief second, I'm staring just into the abyss, okay? Just staring at his license plate, trying to make sure if it gets closer. And you know when you're just looking at the wall and you kind of start daydreaming, man, all of a sudden I saw myself smashing into it, and I could see the conversations I was going to have, and I was like, oh, the insurance and the people, and will I survive, and I wonder how bad this freaking airbag's going to hit me, and I got to talk about it, and then Nick's going to feel bad, and then they're going to say, it's not his fault, and I'm going to say, no, it's not actually his fault, even though it might be, and I was like, no, but the brakes, and I was like, wonder, but it's like, but you got good brakes, and I said, I didn't have good brakes, and I'm picturing, and I thought, bang! It didn't happen, though. I survived, and I credit myself and myself alone. My reflexes are incredible, but no, I thank the Lord, man, truly, okay? It was so terrifying. So right after I had the biggest loss of my week, I did have the biggest win of my week, and then I got the car fixed, and that's not as exciting. It was just as hectic and painful, and there was just as many hurdles to jump over as well. You know what I saw, dude? So for Halloween, if you're familiar, there's a QB for the Cincinnati Bengals. His name is Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. And people often say he looks like Macaulay Culkin, the Home Alone kid. And it's like a little joke. It's embarrassing, kind of like, hey, you look like the dorky little kid, or the dorky little guy that's now grown up. And it's always been a little bit of a joke, and I guess word had gotten to Macaulay Culkin. So what happened is that he decided he was going to dress up as Joe Burrow instead for Halloween. And he has all these silly, goofy, fruity-looking shots of him that are just, it's not tough or masculine or any word you would use to describe the NFL or a football player in a locker room full of guys. And especially this idea where if you throw an interception or you have a bad game, they say, oh, you're not Joe Burrow, you're like off-brand Joe Burrow. So the amount of fear, man, like people are laughing saying he has no idea what he just did, because this will be a forever. Anytime Joe Burrow plays bad, this image will resurface forever now. Okay. And then he went out and he probably played one of the best games of his life. And it was just funny to look at that. It's like, dude, the pressure to know that someone had just the most embarrassing content to use to make fun of you and humiliate you, but you rise to the occasion. But it's a pretty dicey world, man. Sports are half fun and half making fun of everybody else. Staying on sports though, I saw the Dwayne Wade statue. I don't know if you guys are familiar. They have this huge new bronze D Wade statue, and like every statue, it's hideous and it's horrendous and it looks nothing like him. And this is a very common thing. Anytime someone gets elected into some Ring of Honor or a Hall of Fame or whatever it may be, the Ronaldo one, just as horrific. It's just a very common thing where the faces look like Play-Doh and their face starts melt. It's ugly. It's horrible, man. And I mean this is no disrespect to the artist, even though I just disrespected him. But they don't make them lifelike or look like them whatsoever. And I thought that was just, maybe it's really hard to do. Maybe it takes more time. Maybe not being paid enough or whatever. And then the artists come out and then they say, we want to make more of like in-your-face art that, rises, a reaction, good or bad. And I was like, this isn't art. This isn't like stuff they put in a museum. This isn't stuff you're just making, because you're an artist. You're being commissioned to come and do something so we can put it in our sports section, because you go, hey, look at this guy. Look how great he was. He's like, his face is just awful. Okay. It's embarrassing. It looks like he got caught in a fire. And it's always hard because the guy has to go, look at this. How great is this that people, I'm really happy about that. But they're like laughing and, hating themselves. They're not, but it'd be sick to make a statue. But if people really are doing this on purpose, and that's not just a cop out to go, no, freaking, it's more like a reflection of the feeling that we get when you see you, like that's what I would do if it was me. Like, yeah, for sure. Like, cause I would draw stuff with my crayons and give it to my mom. She'd be like, yeah, this is a freaking dinosaur. I'm like, that was me. But yeah, no, I love Land Before Time. But that's different than going, I purposely made you, right? This all-star that we're trying to celebrate. It's your time. It's your celebration. I made you look like the Elephant Man. And I think that would be more disrespectful. But I will say again, no disrespect. Whew, that was close, guys. You ever feel like you almost make fun of somebody, but then you remember just in time to go, just not for real. Hey, it's going to be okay, man. What was he talking about? Nobody knows. Man, I tell you what. Speaking of the Halloween thing, I was talking about unsubscribing from emails relentlessly and how somebody may or may not have bought some V-necks off American Eagle when he was 14 because he thought they fit and he thought they would look cool, but they didn't. And he's still trying to unsubscribe from the emails. We don't know who this is. But as I was talking about that, I have been relentlessly failing to unsubscribe from these Hawaii fires, okay? Hawaii's fires have been contacting me probably once a month going, this and that. And look, the reason they're contacting me is because I donated to them, because I'm a good person, right? It's a charity. But I sent money to Hawaii, and then they keep going, thank you, this and that. And they're not even like offering me anything. Not like, hey, come back and give us more money. They're not asking for anything. They just keep saying thank you and updating me. And you know what? I I don't need to know. I sent it out. And I keep it unsubscribe. Stop. I've done my piece, okay? I've sent, great person, okay? I admit it. But I don't need to keep getting thank yous. I always say I don't do any thankless jobs. This, Hawaii and their Hawaii and their 5-0s. Hawaii and their fires, man, okay? I helped put them out. I helped some people out. I'm very grateful for that. But they don't need to be, okay? And I don't need any more thank yous. Or at least let me say stop. My email's filled with things, and I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what to do. So be careful. What I'm saying is if you donate to charity, use a fake email, okay? Don't use it under your real name. Give them a fake identity. Let them thank some other schmuck for all of eternity, because I don't want credit anymore, okay? I would like to only do thankless deeds when it comes to charity, okay? I think that's the only time I've ever done with charity. I think that's the only thing that is really firing me up at the moment. The only charity that's really been yes, thank you. It's like if you rescued somebody from getting hit by a car, and then they just like, shooter, you want to go to Red Lobster? And you're like, I can't. That was for you, man. We don't need to have this. Just you. No me. It's all about you. So let's not make it about me. And that's all I'm going to say. I think I've said my piece. Guys, I think that's everything I have to talk about today. Again, world's hectic, but hey, you guys are great. Love life, baby. Sun comes up and the world still spins. Oh, I saw a squirrel chasing around its tree. It wasn't chasing anything. It was just running around the tree. But you know what? Ain't that life? So the sun does come up, but it does go down pretty quick, but the world still spins. You know what I mean? So anyways, life's going to be okay. People are going to be okay. Statues are ugly. And I'm going to quit caffeine somehow. Okay. I don't even feel like hyper jazzed. It's just that I feel like I'm eating a snack. I might as well just eat snacks, and then I'd feel even more incredible without having to have the caffeine, but then I'd be fat. I don't know. That's for me to figure out. It's for you guys to, I don't know, hopefully worry about and go, I hope he's not getting fat, Does anybody, like I said, I'm very grateful for my family, but does anybody stay up late wondering about me getting fat? Specifically, I really hope that guy's not getting fat. That would be nice. That would be nice to have. Maybe. Yeah, I would like someone to check in on me. Hey, dude, you fat? We'll see. Well, somebody's going to do it now that I said that, okay? And the answer is yes. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been Full Circus, and it will be tomorrow, just as the world will be just as great or bad as it is. And we're going to keep on pushing. We're going to keep on loving. We're going to keep on lifing, dude. It's time to life, okay? We always say it's time to live. It's time to love. It's time to laugh. But today and going forward, it's time to life. So, guys, dang it. I thought I could have a good day.